One feature of functions and the graphs of functions that we care about is something called increasing or decreasing. And so these are the definitions here of what we mean by that. So we talk about a function being increasing or decreasing specifically on an interval. Okay, it will only really make sense if we're talking about an interval. You can't talk about a function being increasing or decreasing at a point. So we say that a function is increasing on an interval I if f of x1 is less than f of x2 whenever x1 is less than x2 in the interval. What this means, of course, is just saying, well, if we increase the x value, so from x1 to x2, we're increasing. We have a bigger number. Okay, if you have a bigger x value, then you have a bigger y value. That's what it means for it to be increasing. For decreasing, we mean if we have a bigger x value, we end up with a smaller y value. And finally, we say that a function is constant on an interval if, no matter what two values you pick in the interval, your y value is always the same. So let's just look at this graph and kind of see what this looks like. A key thing to remember here is that we're always talking about moving from left to right. So moving from left to right on this curve, we start off and we're moving down. And if you're moving down, that means that you are decreasing. And so we can say that we are decreasing here on this interval. And that stops, it looks like, right around here at -3. And then, after -3, we're flat. Okay, all of our y values here are the same, and so that is constant. And it looks like they're the same all the way up until, well, it looks like it's 0. It starts to gradually increase and go up until here. So now from left to right, we're moving up. And if you're moving up, that is increasing. Okay. And then we hit this point right here, and all of a sudden, we're not moving up anymore. Looks like we're moving down. And so that is once again decreasing. So this is what it looks like. Specifically, if we wanted to write out with symbols what we mean here, we would say that we are decreasing on, and then we write the intervals. Okay, this first interval, looks like it's all the way to -infinity, so -infinity up to the x value of -3. And we'll never include our endpoints when we're talking about increasing and decreasing. We're also decreasing over here, so on that interval and then this here starts at 2 and then it keeps going. And so we'll say from 2 to infinity. And then we would say that it is increasing on, and the interval it's increasing on, that's right here from 0 up to 2. 0 to 2. And then finally it is constant on the interval starting here at -3 and up through 0. So from -3 to 0. And again, we're talking about intervals here, so we're always talking about the x values when we describe when a function is increasing, decreasing, or constant.